My fridge looked random, my pantry looked empty, and I still made dinner every night for a week. Here's how I turned what I already had into real meals, without another grocery run. At the start of the week, I made a decision that most people avoid. I stopped buying groceries. Not because my kitchen was full, not because I had a plan ready, but because I wanted to test something simple. How far can I go with just what I already have? When I opened my fridge, it didn't look promising. There were a few vegetables, some leftovers, and random items that didn't seem to belong together. The pantry wasn't much better. A few basics, nothing exciting, nothing that looked like a clear meal. Normally, this is the moment where most people say, there's nothing to eat. Close the fridge and either order food or plan another grocery run. But this time I didn't. And by the end of the week, I had cooked dinner every single day without buying anything new. Here's exactly how that worked. The rule that made it work, I followed one rule for the entire week. Only cook with what you already have. No quick store visits. No extra ingredients. No, just one thing to complete the meal. That rule forced me to look at my kitchen differently. Instead of asking, what do I want to eat? I started asking, what can I make from this? That shift is simple, but it changes everything. Because the biggest problem in most kitchens is not lack of food. It's not knowing what to do with what is already there. Day 1 starts simple. The first day is always the easiest. You still have enough options. Nothing feels urgent yet. I looked at what I had. Eggs, 1 tomato, half an onion, and some bread. Individually, none of these felt like a complete meal. But together, they were more than enough. I made a simple egg and vegetable scramble with toast on the side. It took less than 10 minutes. This is where most people make a mistake. They look for complete meals instead of building one from what they already have. You don't need a perfect combination. You just need to start. Day 2. Use what's left. By day 2, things start to look more random. This is where most people feel stuck. But this is also where the system starts working. I had leftover vegetables from the previous day, some rice in the fridge, and a sauce I hadn't used in a while. That's enough for a meal. Leftover vegetables plus rice plus sauce becomes quick fried rice. No extra effort. No new ingredients. The key idea here is simple. Every meal should make the next meal easier. When you use leftovers properly, you reduce both effort and waste. Why people get stuck? Important shift. This is the point where most people stop. They look at random ingredients and think, this doesn't go together. So they don't cook anything. They delay the decision. And when you delay, food sits longer than it should. Eventually it goes bad. The problem is not the ingredients. The problem is the expectation. You're expecting meals to look perfect. But everyday cooking is not about perfection. It's about using what you have before it becomes unusable. Day 3, the 3-item method. On day 3, I made things even simpler. I used one rule. Pick 3 things. Make something. That's it. No overthinking. That day, I had potatoes, an onion, and a small amount of leftover chicken. That's enough for a full meal. Chop everything, cook it together, add basic seasoning. Now you have a complete dish. The 3-item method works because it removes hesitation. You're not trying to create the best meal. You're just making a decision and acting on it. Day 4, priority over preference. By the middle of the week, things start to change. Now it's not about what looks good. It's about what needs to be used. I had vegetables that were close to going bad. So instead of ignoring them, I used them first. This is one of the most important habits you can build. Stop asking, what do I feel like eating? Start asking, what needs to be used today? That one question removes confusion. It gives you a clear direction every time you step into your kitchen. Quick decision framework. What can you cook? Let's make this practical. If your kitchen looks random, here's how to think. Eggs plus any vegetable becomes a scramble or omelet. Rice plus leftovers becomes fried rice or a simple bowl. Bread plus anything becomes a sandwich. Pasta plus random ingredients becomes a quick pasta mix. You don't need detailed recipes. You need simple combinations. This is what can I cook actually means. It's not about finding the perfect dish. It's about making fast, usable decisions. Day 5, fewer options, better decisions. By day 5, the kitchen looks almost empty. At least, that's how it feels at first glance. You open the fridge, and there's no clear meal waiting for you. No obvious combination. No ready-made idea. This is the exact moment where most people give up and decide it's time to go shopping again. It feels easier to buy more food than to figure something out. But something interesting happens if you don't leave the kitchen right away. When you have fewer options, your thinking actually becomes clearer. You're no longer distracted by too many choices. You stop searching for the perfect meal and start focusing on what is possible right now. That day, I had a small portion of pasta, a bit of sauce, and a few leftover vegetables. On their own, they didn't look impressive, but together, they were more than enough. So, I didn't overthink it. I cooked everything together. That's it. A simple meal, made in minutes, with no extra effort and no delay. This is the shift that matters. When options are limited, you stop waiting for something better. You stop delaying decisions. You simply use what you have and make it work. The big realization, here's what surprised me the most. Cooking became easier as the week went on, not harder, because I removed the hardest part, deciding what to cook. Most people think they need more food to cook better, but in reality, they need fewer decisions. When you work with what you already have, you remove the pressure of choice. And that makes everything simpler. Days 6 and 7, finishing strong. The last 2 days were about finishing everything. Small amounts, random items, nothing complete on its own. But everything was still usable. At this point, it wasn't about creativity. It was about consistency. Mix what you have, cook it, use it. And by the end of the week, almost nothing was left unused. What this shows after 1 week, a few things became clear. Most kitchens already have enough food for several meals. The problem is not availability. It is awareness. When you don't use what you already have, you end up buying more than you need, and that leads to waste. But when you start using what's already there, everything changes. You spend less, you waste less, and cooking becomes easier. Simple system to follow if you want to try this yourself. Keep it simple. Stop buying groceries for a few days. Look at what you already have. Pick 2 or 3 items. Build a simple meal around them. Repeat this every day. No complicated planning. No perfect recipes. Just consistent decisions. OUTRO, most people don't actually have an empty kitchen. They have shelves full of ingredients they never fully use. Half-open sauces. Forgotten vegetables. Items bought for one recipe that slowly expire in the background. And every unused ingredient is money quietly being thrown away. But once you start using what you already have, something changes. You spend less impulsively. Cooking becomes easier. Your kitchen feels more organized, less stressful, and far more efficient. That's the idea behind Preptera. Preptera helps you turn the ingredients already in your kitchen into practical meal plans, smarter cooking decisions, and less wasted food. Get your free meal plan using the link in the description. And if you want simple, practical systems to make cooking easier and reduce waste, subscribe to the channel and start using your kitchen more intentionally with Preptera.